Hey everyone, it's Rose here, and we need to talk about something huge that's happening right now with Social Security. Democrats are pushing a proposal that could put an extra $200 per month in your pocket if you're getting Social Security. $200 per month if you're getting Social Security SSI, SSDI, Veterans Affairs benefits, railroad retirement, or survivor and spousal benefits. This isn't just talk anymore. We're seeing real momentum from both sides of the aisle, and here's what makes this different. They're calling it the Social Security Emergency Inflation Relief Act, and it could start as soon as January 2026. That's literally next month, people. Now, I know what you're thinking. We've heard promises before, right? But I've spent hours going through the actual proposal, reading what senators are saying, and breaking down the numbers so you don't have to. And what I found is a mix of incredible opportunity and some serious questions we need to address together. So, if you're one of the 72.5 million Americans who depend on these benefits, you cannot afford to miss this video. Let's dive in. Before we get into the good news, let me paint the real picture for you. Right now, if you're getting SSI benefits, you're receiving about $967 per month in 2025, and even with the 2026 increase, that's only going up to $997. Let me say that again. $997 per month. Think about that for a second. Try to pay rent, buy groceries, cover your prescriptions, and keep the lights on with $1,000 a month. It's not possible in most parts of this country. It's just not. And here's the heartbreaking part. About 5 million Social Security recipients are living below the poverty level right now. Some are even homeless despite receiving benefits every month because they literally cannot afford rent. We're talking about seniors who work their entire lives, disabled Americans who are trying to survive, veterans who served our country, and they're choosing between paying rent or putting food on the table. Meanwhile, inflation ticked up to 3% this year, and prices jumped 0.3% just from August to September. According to the Consumer Price Index, everything costs more, but your check stays basically the same, and I want to hear from you right now. Do you feel like inflation is crushing your budget? Are you struggling to pay rent, buy groceries, afford your prescriptions? Drop a comment below and let me know your situation, because Congress needs to hear these real stories from real people. And if you support this $200 monthly increase, write in the comments, "I support Social Security increase." Seriously, write it, because if we don't speak up, nothing changes. Our voices matter. Also, hit that like button on this video. It takes 2 seconds and helps get this information in front of more people who need to see it. Now let's get into the details. Alright, so here's what we're talking about. 2 seconds and helps get this information in front of more people who need to see it. Now, let's get into the details. Alright, so here's what we're talking about. The Social Security Emergency Inflation Relief Act would provide an additional $200 per month to all benefit recipients. And when I say all, I mean all. Social Security retirement recipients, SSI beneficiaries, SSDI recipients, Veterans Affairs beneficiaries, railroad retirement recipients, survivor benefit recipients, spousal benefit recipients. We're talking about 74 million Americans who would see this increase. That's not a small number. That's nearly 1 in 4 Americans. Now, here's the timeline, and this is important. The proposal would start in January 2026 and run through July 2026. That's a 7-month emergency relief period. We're talking about an extra 7 months, $1,400 total if you get all 7 months. Let me tell you who's fighting for this, because you need to know who's in your corner. On the Democratic side, we've got some heavy hitters: Senator Bernie Sanders, John Larson, Elizabeth Warren, Sherrod Brown, Chuck Schumer, and Senator Alex Padilla from California. These are the people pushing this proposal hard. But here's what's really interesting. We're also seeing support from some Republicans. Senators like Bill Cassidy, John Kennedy, and Tim Kaine are saying it's time to fix Social Security for millions of Americans. When you have both parties acknowledging there's a problem, that's significant. Now Bernie Sanders is actually going even further. He's saying this increase shouldn't be temporary, it should be permanent. And honestly, that makes sense. If people need an extra $200 now because of inflation, why would they suddenly not need it in August? The bills don't stop coming. But there's more to this story, and I want you to understand the full context. Democrats are positioning this not just as relief for seniors and disabled Americans, but also as a way to deal with President Trump's tariff policies. They're saying that if tariffs are going to raise prices on everyday goods, then we need to put more money in people's pockets to offset that. Now here's the big question everyone's asking. Would President Trump actually sign this if Congress passes it? That's the million-dollar question. Some people think he'd support it because it's a good idea. Popular with his base, seniors and working-class Americans, others think he'd veto it over concerns about the deficit. What do you think? Drop a comment below. Will Trump sign this or veto it? I want to hear your predictions. Now, let me tell you about something else that's in the conversation, because this could actually be even bigger than the $200 increase. It's called CPIE, and you need to understand what this means for your future. Right now, Social Security uses something called CPIW to calculate your annual cost of living adjustment. That's your COA. The problem, CPIW measures what working people spend money on, but seniors and people with disabilities spend way more on healthcare and housing than the average worker does. So, there's a proposal to switch to CPIE, that's Consumer Price Index for the elderly. This metric actually looks at how much seniors spend on rent, mortgages, groceries, prescriptions, and healthcare. And here's the game changer. Analysts and experts are saying that if they implement CPIE, it could increase benefits by $300 to $500 per month for all 74 million recipients. Let me say that again. $300 to $500 more per month, not just for a few months, but permanently built into how they calculate increases every year. If you support switching to CPIE, write in the comments, "I support CPIE, let your voice be heard," because this could literally change your financial future. Okay, now, I need to be straight with you about the challenges here, because I'm not going to sugarcoat this. There are what they call fiscal watchdogs who are not enthusiastic about this proposal. They're worried about where the money comes from. Social Security is facing a shortfall. The trust fund is projected to run into problems, and without changes, benefits could get cut in the future. So when we talk about adding $200 per month for 74 million people, that's billions of dollars. The question becomes, how do we pay for it? Some lawmakers want to raise the cap on Social Security taxes for high earners. Others want to find efficiencies in government spending. And some, let's be honest, just don't want to spend the money at all. And here's what really gets me fired up. We send billions and billions of dollars to other countries for foreign aid, military support, and international programs. I'm not saying all of that is wrong, but when our own seniors and disabled Americans are struggling to survive, when 5 million people are living below the poverty level despite getting benefits, doesn't that seem backwards to you? Let me know in the comments what you think about this whole situation, and should we prioritize our own citizens first? Here's what you need to understand right now today. First, this proposal is real, and it has serious support. It's not just a fantasy. There are senators actively pushing for this. Second, the timeline is January 2026 through July 2026. That means, if it passes, you could see that first $200 payment in just a few weeks. Third, you don't need to apply for anything. If this becomes law, it will be automatic. The Social Security Administration will add it to your existing payment. You don't call anyone. You don't fill out forms. You don't click any links. And that brings me to my warning. Whenever news like this breaks, scammers come out in full force. You're going to see Facebook posts saying, "Click here to claim your $200. You might get phone calls from people saying they're from Social Security and you need to verify your information to get the payment. Do not fall for it. Social Security will never ask you to pay a fee to get your benefits. They will never call asking for your Social Security number or bank information. If you want real information, go to SSI.gov. Those are the only legitimate sources. Now, while we're waiting to see what happens with this $200 proposal, let me give you some actionable advice right now. There are other programs you might qualify for that could help immediately. SNAP benefits, food stamps. Many people don't realize they qualify. LIHHP, that's utility bill assistance for heating and cooling. Medicaid if you're not already enrolled. Housing assistance programs in your state, prescription assistance programs. I have detailed videos covering all of these programs, so check out my channel and the description box below. Don't leave money on the table while you're waiting for Congress to act. And for seniors dealing with Medicare, did you know you could potentially save $1,100 on your Medicare plan? Getting expert help to find the right plan can make a huge difference in your out-of-pocket costs. Make sure you're exploring all your options. Listen, the future of Social Security has become a top political issue, and it was a major point in the 2024 election. That means lawmakers are actually paying attention right now. Your voice matters more than ever. So, here's what I need you to do. 1. Contact your senators and representatives. Tell them you support the Social Security Emergency Inflation Relief Act. Tell them your story. Tell them what an extra $200 per month would mean for your life. Would it mean you could afford your medications? Would it mean you don't have to skip meals? Would it mean you could keep your apartment? 2. Write in the comments below. Would an extra $200 per month make a difference for you? What would you use it for? I read every single comment and your stories matter. Let's show Congress what's at stake. 3. Share this video. Send it to your mom, your neighbor, your friend from church, anyone you know on Social Security who needs to understand what's happening. The more people who are informed, the more pressure there is on lawmakers to act. I know the uncertainty is frustrating. You want to know right now, am I getting this money or not? And I can't give you a crystal ball, but what I can tell you is that the momentum is building. Both parties are acknowledging that current benefits aren't enough. That's a huge shift from where we were just a few years ago. Należy pamiętać, że jeśli ten konkretny projekt przejdzie, czy to jest temporary or permanent, whether it's $200 or a different amount, the conversation is happening. And that's because people like you are speaking up, so stay informed, stay hopeful, and don't give up fighting for what you deserve. You worked your whole life, or you're dealing with a disability, or you lost someone you love. You deserve to live with dignity, not just survive. I'm going to be monitoring this situation closely. And the second there's an update, you'll see a video on this channel, so make sure you're subscribed with notifications turned on. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself. And remember, your voice matters. Dawajcie, сделаем это. Слышимым.